The Republican Party is running on this. It may die down after the midterms. It may not. We're seeing legislation after legislation passed and proposed and passed in states around the country to ostracize, to alienate, to diminish the rights of trans people, and this is their jam. Here is Representative Tim Burkett, Republican from Tennessee, on with Newsmax Jennifer Pellegrino, talking about the trans healthcare options that are being offered at the Vanderbilt University Medical Center. They're going after, I mean, where are all the people who complain about like the mob rule and political correctness, right? Like, remember how that was a big thing a while back? Like, I don't know, 16 months ago or 24 months ago or whatnot. Like, we have a problem with like a speech code. You have now organized movement by right-wing media personalities and Republican lawmakers who are now organizing attacks on hospitals because they don't like the health care that they're providing.
And it was it was doxing to name Chaya, who has the libs of TikTok account, and just did a little investigating that this person has had government contracts and worked with Republican operatives. And that's doxing, but not Tucker Carlson putting up images of members of the hospital board and of doctors who are providing trans-affirming care.
But here is a Republican lawmaker.
Yeah, at the state level, Governor Lee is correct. Ask for an investigation of this. This is crazy. This is not San Francisco or New York or Portland, Oregon. This is Tennessee, for goodness sakes. And we're looking at it, of course, at the federal level. I would like to say that any elective surgery, such as a sex change operation or anything like that, would not be funded by Obamacare, would not be funded by the taxpayers. That's what we need to do at the federal level. And myself, we're drafting legislation, others have in the past, to do just that. And you're correct to say that the Democrats are completely against this, and it's ridiculous. You're talking about children here. This is life-altering. You know, every time I'd like to be a Corvette, but I can sit in the garage all I want to, and I'll never be a Corvette. Well, you mutilate a small child, they will still, if it's a little boy and they get a genitalia off, he'll still be a little boy. You can put him in dresses and do all that you want, but he'll still be a little boy. The problem is it's life-altering. It's something that shouldn't be done, and we should know better than allowing parents of any child that is a minor to do this. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're chasing the dollars. The Hippocratic Oath basically says, do no harm. The first thing they do is harm to these children. It's life-changing. And we know better. And the left is just yielding to the far radical fringe, which has become basically the leadership that the Democrats are providing in Washington. And it is dead wrong. And I hope we can come to our senses. And I hope in November the voters remember this type of shenanigans.
Just to be clear, the idea that they're castrating little boys is a total lie. Total lie. And again, the parental rights folks now, when it comes to having parents, and there's no children at these facilities who are getting treated without their parents' permission, without years of therapy. It's just not happening. Meanwhile, CBS News reports published in peer-reviewed journal, JAMA Pediatrics, that's the Journal of American Medicine, Medical Association Pediatrics, on Monday, shows that top surgery, this is, I would imagine, primarily for trans masculine patients, is associated with significant improvement in chest dysphoria, gender congruence, and body image in trans masculine and non-binary teens and young adults. The study compared two groups of patients ranging in ages from 14 to 24. One group of 36 patients received top surgery, and a control group of 34 patients received gender-affirming care, but did not get top surgery. 3 months after surgery, the patients who had the procedure experienced significantly less chest dysphoria than they had prior to surgery, while patients in the control group experienced around the same levels of chest dysphoria they had at the start of their care. I mean, look, when I was a kid, a teenager, I knew girls, young women, who had breast reduction surgery. I do not recall the hospitals that perform this work getting bomb threats, being attacked by lawmakers.
How about a kid that undergoes a rhinoplasty earlier in their life because they've decided they don't, they have a deviated septum or they want to change their nose cosmetically? Is that mutilating children?
It's just absurd. It's just absurd.
And those results, it's good that I'm very glad it's studied so we can respond to people when they, pretend like, oh, I'm just concerned about kids rushing into some fad surgery. But it should be obvious that any child under 18 getting top surgery has been socially transitioned, particularly if they were assigned female at birth, to male. Is everyone calling him he instead of she for years before they get any sort of surgical intervention. So of course, like making them go through a puberty into an identity that they've transitioned out of is going to cause way more psychic stress. It should have been obvious, but we have one political party that's making campaign hay out of it. So the media has to act like it's some sort of
real thing.
Yeah.
It's totally twisted. It's totally twisted.